Okay, so if that sounded like an 80s movie soundtrack, that's because I did the 80s pop. An 80s pop, what do you call it? Whatever. Track on my music service, and it sounded like I was watching like like one of those teen movies like The Breakfast Club, or you know what I mean. I dig that track because they really do catch the essence of like 80s film soundtracks. So I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, good morning everybody. Happy Thursday. And you know what Thursday is on this show. It's at FTG time. And as you can see, the name of the stream is Liar Liar because the prosecution there's I'll get you caught up in the case, but the prosecution basically made a dog ate my homework excuse for not doing the Brady evidence properly for the defense. And it was laughable listening to this guy. And then he got caught. Somebody tell me the name of the program that he got caught with on his computer. I can't even remember it. I know somebody here already knows if you've been paying attention, but it's freaking hilarious. I am just dumbfounded by how dumb these people think we are. And FTG all day to the prosecution for them just bullshit throughout this damn trial. I might get to other stuff today, I might not, but I am just cracking up at these dumbasses. And I at this point, I think they want a mistrial. I think they want a second bite at the apple. But if they get a second bite at this and try to trial this kid again, and first of all, Kyle needs to hire some new lawyers for handbrake. Thank you. Kyle needs to, Mr. Rittenhouse, young Mr. Rittenhouse. I don't know why I call him Kyle. I don't know the kid. He has no personal significance to me whatsoever. I know a lot of people get people tell me, why are you caping for Kyle? Why are you caping for him? I'm like, well, why are you caping for a freaking pedophile? Excuse me, a convicted pedophile, a convicted felon, and a jackass communist revolutionary liar. Why are you caping for them? I'm sorry, these are the people who fuck up. Oh, I swore too early. It's too early in the stream to swear. Anyway, these are the guys who screw up the Black Lives Matters peaceful protests. These aren't the peaceful protesters that all you people, he came to the protest with a gun. No, he didn't. He came to a riot with a gun, and it worked as far as a deterrent until a certain point in the evening. But anyway, I'm not caping for anybody. I'm just saying it's clearly self-defense. I'm sorry. I swear to God, if they have a second trial, they better ask one of those officers, okay, if someone's charging at you while you have your weapon out, do you let them charge you or do you shoot them? Period. Weapon or not, armed or not. And that's the distinction nobody seems to want to, at least none of the people who are thinking he's guilty, he's a murderer, blah, blah, blah. Really? I don't think so. The revolutionary Grosskreutz, he's not a convicted felon because his case got dropped, I believe. And so he's a what's the word? They accused him of something. He got charged with felony, but I think his case was dropped because he could legally have a weapon. He could not legally have a concealed weapon. So, and I don't think convicted felons in Wisconsin regain their right to have a weapon. I'm not 100% sure. And that's an iffy thing too, should a convicted felon be allowed to have a weapon if they've paid their dues? Because you get some of your constitutional rights back. I don't know. Anyway, we'll talk about that and more, and we'll have plenty of FTGs. After the intro. Johnny, play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight. All right, stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet, and welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel. I am so happy you're here. It's Thursday, the 18th of November, 2021. 1 week until we give thanks. I'm just going to a moment of silence for being thankful for the life that I have, thankful for the people I have. But even though it's a week early, I'm still going to give thanks. I'm not, and not just for living in this great nation that we live in, but also for the things that have made my life better throughout my life. My parents who adopted me, my wife, my kids, and all the people that I have become friends, and you. I am thankful for you too. So we'll enjoy us some little Thanksgiving next week, a week from today. But I'm just start thinking about it now. This year though, we're not doing a traditional Thanksgiving, unfortunately, that we usually do, because we usually have I'm cooking up a storm usually on Thanksgiving. But this year, my son and his girlfriend, they're going to be at her parents' house. We live in different cities, so they can't really go back and forth like they used to. We used to live in the same city, so they could split it. But her parents moved, so we can't do that. So we're going to spend it with my daughter and her husband and his family. I'm talking about Lady Boomer and I, because I don't get it. I work the day before Thanksgiving. I work the day after Thanksgiving. So, we're actually going out for Thanksgiving brunch, which is first time I've done that, I think, but it is what it is anyway. And I hope you have plenty of things that you can be thankful to. Oh, Thanksgiving in the United States, Thanksgiving is the fourth Thursday in November every year. It's not a specific date in the United States. All right, real quick, let's do this. Let's say good morning to everybody and let's get into the show. Because I'm late again because of the place I work, I didn't open up a whole lot of tabs, but I do have a few open and some things that I want to talk about. So let's get to that, but I can't do that until I say good morning to you, friends in the chat. So first in the chat today was, wait, is this right? Was Richo here first? Because I think when I reset my stream, I changed to live chat. Okay, well, Richo, I think you were here first. So, hey, you get the bell. My friend from down under, Richo. If that's wrong, just let me know. When I get down, scroll all the way down, I'll know. Also, good morning to Infamous One, Select a Boy. Yeah, also, good morning to James PFP, Somnambule Nation, Fox P2. Let's see. Scroll down. Oh my goodness, you guys were chatting up a storm. Also, good morning, Avocados Diabli. Also, good morning to Legit Low Talker. And Hank Campbell's in the house, one of the original viewers of the Morning Night Live. Also, good morning, Tyler F. Jim Beams in the house. Looks like Let's Go Brandon, a.k.a. Renee Mayette, is here. Good morning. Also, good morning to Cool Frog. Nice to have you back. And Plague Dr. Zach, a.k.a. Zach Osborne. Truckin' Bears in the house. Also, good morning to, I already said Legit Low Talker. Jada Clay is here. Good morning. James Colley, of course. Also, good morning, Mike Savage. Blarg. News of the week is here. Open season. Also, good morning, Will Sitter. And am I getting there? Edziker, hey, welcome back. Nice to see you. BLM was literally screaming to be able to police their own neighborhoods as they burn shit. But as soon as someone does it, boom, racist. Yeah, good point. I'll give you get a bell for that one. Hell yeah. Also, good morning too. Is that everybody? Is that everybody so far? Kind of. Did I miss any? Oh, Maddie's in the house. Thank you, Maddie, also for tweeting out the show. Pescipos. I said it right. Oh my God. Episcopos is in the house, aka 5Z in my vernacular, and I think there's a couple. Oh, Zach to the Future was totally first. Okay, well, I'm sorry. Thank you. And you're going to hear the music because thank you for sponsoring the show. You're the first sponsor of the show. I appreciate that too. Zach to the Future. I think the music's going to hit about, I don't know. I can never tell when that's going to happen. I see those. I should always just wait till I hear it. There we go. I kind of dance like that. No, I don't. I'm laughing. I'm just joking. I would look silly. Anyway, who says, Zach, thank you, Zach to the Future, who says, I was totally first, bruh. Okay, that's cool. All right. So, wait, what's that? What was that program called? It's called, because I want to, it's called, something you kept telling me, and now I can't find it. It was, Krause looked like that fat dude from The Meaning of Life. Krause is one of the prosecuting attorneys. He's the second chair. He's the one who lives in a van down by the river. Oh, Handbrake. Yeah, that's it. Handbrake. Oh, real quick, too. Thank you to Somnambule Nation, Maddie, Will Sinner, Tyler F. Who else here? Hate Camel. Who else? Truckin' Bear, Necrosol Collins. Hey, are you here? If you're lurking, that's okay. People are lurking. And Zach Osborne for all retweeting my tweet of the show. By the way, follow me on social media at PDawgKnight. Just about anywhere you go. Gab, Parler, Twitter, CloutHub, Getter. I have it, minds.com, by the way, minds.com. And I don't know. I haven't heard anything about, what's that, Truth Social? Is that the one that Trump's coming out with? I don't know. If he ever comes out with it, I'll put a marker there until they open it up. Also, K-Shaw and Keever's in the house. How you doing, Keever? And K-Shaw, nice to see you. James PFP, I think I said. Black Hebrew Israelites here.
That's right.
And okay, I'm getting caught up. So anyway, why is that so hard for me to remember? Probably because I don't use it. So yesterday, there was, well, first of all, there's a motion for the motion for a mistrial in the case of the young man in Wisconsin. By the way, Handbrake was trending yesterday, and I'm surprised it's not trending today. But let's get you caught up if you're not caught up with the trial, and I'll do it from a source that is much more close to the case than anything in the mainstream media. This is from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Kyle Rittenhouse trial comes to the brink of a mistrial during second day of jury deliberations. The second day of jury deliberations passed without a verdict for Kyle Rittenhouse, but brought the homicide case closer to the brink of a mistrial. Yes, we are on the brink. Zablé. That's Zablé. She's in the house. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Defense counsel Corey Sherafisi called for a mistrial Wednesday afternoon after a lengthy discussion among the judge and other lawyers about a key piece of the state's evidence, video taken by a private drone. It was not the same request the defense made last week for a mistrial with prejudice, which, if granted, would mean Rittenhouse couldn't be retried. Judge Bruce Schroeder still hasn't ruled on that request. Now, did they ever make? Well, I know that we have the one from the other yesterday too. There was two motions for a mistrial yesterday that were being considered. One that was provided, I believe, Tuesday night, and that he hadn't got to yet yesterday. And then there was one yesterday that was a verbal for this, what we're about to talk about, what we're about to hear about now. According to prosecutors, the video shows Rittenhouse raise an AR-15 style rifle at a couple who had been with Joseph Rosenbaum much of the night. It's bullshit, because it doesn't show up in any other video, and nobody testified to this. But this is the imagination of the prosecution, who is desperate for a reason to win and not just get justice here. And well, we'll get to that in a second, too. That action, they say, provoked Rosenbaum to chase Rittenhouse, who shot the unarmed Rosenbaum 4 times after they had run across the car lot. Now, that is the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel's version. Fascinating. But here, that's the prosecution's version. Now, it's interesting because, so if he had pointed at them and he ran away as Rosenbaum chased him, why did Rosenbaum keep chasing him then? How did that provoke Rosenbaum to continue chasing him? These are questions that good lawyers might have asked, and they kind of did, but they didn't do it that well. The defense says Rosenbaum had been acting aggressively and irrationally all night, yes, and had threatened to kill Rosenbaum at Rittenhouse if he caught him alone. Also contended that Rosenbaum ambushed him as Rittenhouse arrived alone to put out car fire and investigate reports of vandalism to other vehicles in the lot. Yeah, no, he's just there to put out fires. Who said anything about to investigate reports of vandalism? Anyway, we didn't have the quality of evidence the state had until the case had closed on Friday. Sheriff Vesey said, I'm going to be asking for the court for a mistrial. The request seemed to indicate a growing defense concern over a possible guilty verdict. Now, wait a minute. What? Maybe, maybe not, but they're probably not. They're probably going to have a hung jury the way things look. Something Rittenhouse supporters have long discounted as they predicted rapid acquittals. They had first requested the mistrial orally last week. The defense alleged misconduct when the prosecutor suggested Rittenhouse had invoked his right to remain silent at the start of the investigation and later tried to bring up evidence the judge earlier ruled was inadmissible. The defense alleged misconduct? I could have sworn the judge chewed them out for that shit. What do you mean alleged misconduct? The judge made it clear there was misconduct and they were on the brink as it was. In a written version of the request, the defense added concerns about the drone video. It was a motion for a mistrial with prejudice, meaning Rittenhouse could not be retried if the judge granted it. Schroeder referenced a Journal-Sentinel story quoting several legal experts who said it was odd he hadn't ruled on the motion. He clarified he hadn't read the written motion filed Monday and wanted to give the prosecutors time to respond. They had not by Wednesday. He said he was astounded anyone would speculate why he hadn't ruled. He argued judges should hold such motions under advisement and said it's a shame that irresponsible comments were being made in the media. Now, the judge's got to stop listening to fucking pundits and whatever. He should not be reading shit about the trial either, in my opinion. He got a little... Now, I mean, granted, I understand why he's annoyed. There's so much misinformation going around, but come on. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
You are the judge, and they need to shut the fuck up, and you don't need to listen to them anyway. You're the judge. This is your court. They can fuck right off. And you know what? He hasn't been, they complain because so many rulings went in the defense's favor. Well, mainly because that's the law. And in many cases, he went in the prosecution's favor in spite of how it looked and how he should be this probably should have been a mistrial from the beginning anyway. Anyway, the defense said they learned only after closing arguments last week that a version of the video provided by prosecutors was of a lower resolution and quality than the one the prosecutors used in court. The judge said he was very queasy about the drone video after questions were raised about whether the state's crime lab expert might have added pixels during enhancements to it. Actually, the program does that. But anyway, you're putting a lot of emphasis on this, and if it turns out that it's not technologically sound, I refer to these situations as a house of cards, Schroeder told prosecutors. Now, you probably couldn't understand that because I garbled my words there. But he said, okay, I'm going to quote him again. You're putting awful lot of emphasis on this, and if it turns out that it's not technologically sound, I refer to these situations as a house of cards. Assistant District Attorney James Krause. Oh, here we go. Hello, always lost on nothing self alone. You haven't been here a while. I'm glad to see you back. I know things are, everyone has different schedules. All of you are, in fact, a lot of you I haven't seen in a bit. I'm glad you're back. I miss you, and then I appreciate you. And when you can make it, great. If you can't, that's cool too. Bruh, I'm just trying to be famous. Anyway, here we go. Assistant District Attorney James Krause, who lives in a van down by the river, said Rittenhouse's original defense attorney, John Pierce, had shared the drone video last year on Fox News' Tucker Carlson Tonight. The footage at that time appeared to be of high resolution. Okay, and does that mean because that may have been, does that mean you don't have to provide it to the current defense team when asked? And the fact that you sent a very compressed copy to the defense team, this was classic. I should play that because it was the woman that received it for the defense team ripped his story to shred. He sounded like a kid who I didn't do my assignment, but my dog ate my homework. He was so full of shit. Krause said both sides have been trying unsuccessfully for months to obtain the original from the owner of the company. Let's shout the footage. Their luck changed when a former employee dropped it off with a detective on November 5th. Krause said the file of the video apparently was compressed when it was shared with the defense. Where is my X to doubt sound? Hang on a second, because my sound, I don't have it in the format that I wanted. So give me just a moment, because I need this. This is very important to me right at this moment. Let's see. All right. Let's see. What did he say? He said the video file apparently, it just apparently was compressed when it was shared with the defense. Today. I don't have my X. I got to figure out how that got messed up. I need those back because I have little keyboard shortcuts that's supposed to give me that, and it's not. But I'm just going to leave it out because there's going to be more than one of these today. He said, and then the defense said, well, we would have done the case a little bit different manner if the defense had been furnished with a better version of the video. Sheriff Feasey said Wednesday. Yeah, because so I made an analogy this morning because a writer for the LA Times. In fact, let me find this real quick. This is their Twitter and this jackass writer from the LA Times. In my profile, I think I responded to him. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Okay, there we go. Come on, computer, go a little faster. There we go. Here we go. Harry Litman from the LA Times. This is fascinating because this guy is a lawyer. In fact, let me tell you who Harry Litman is. This is Harry Litman right here. By the way, let me get this out of the way. Let me get this out of the way. Let's see if I can. Let's see. Here we go. What's his name? There we go. Let's go right here. We're going to copy and we're going to go into the chat and we're going to paste. And let's just right now, because it is FTG Thursday, and right this very moment, it's very important that we do an FTG for Harry Litman. Harry Litman, listen to this. Let me give you a little background on Harry Litman. He's the LA Times legal affairs columnist, former U.S. attorney, DOJ official, teach constitutional law at University of California, San Diego, and University of California, Los Angeles, aka UCLA. He's a lawyer. Now, listen to this. He says, it is a very weak mistrial claim based on the video copy Rittenhouse's counsel received it being compressed, and they must know it will be denied. Interesting. Still at this stage, why are they willing to argue for a do-over? The next trial, if there were one, would almost surely go worse for them. This guy's smoking crack. He's completely smoking crack. What? So I'm curious because I think I even replied. Did I reply to him? I don't know. Yeah, is this the entire mistrial motion? Or are you only going by the motion in court about the defense receiving the key prosecution evidence in a significantly lower resolution than the prosecution had, and then only receiving a proper copy after the defense concluded. Now listen, here's my analogy. I don't need this anymore. Where was I? I was over here somewhere. So here's the analogy, okay? So let's say you're in a big murder trial, right? That's not so far-fetched, right? And the prosecution, a photographer just happened to find a gigantic photograph, like a 30 by 18 inch photograph, right? Okay, 30 by 18 inch photograph, and it's purported to show something that the prosecution believes is important in the case, okay? Even though it may be ambiguous, but then because of discovery or the Brady rule, they're required to give the defense that's the same photograph, right? So they have this 30 by 18 photograph, but when they send it to the defense, the defense receives a photograph that is the size of a postage stamp. Okay, same photo, same exact photo, except it's the size of a postage stamp. And so the defense is, just trying to make decisions based on this picture of the size of postage stamp. They're like looking at the picture and they're like, it's hard to see, but if this is what they have, this is what they have. They're trying to prove something based on this. And how do we figure this out? And how do we have somebody analyze this? Well, we could blow it up, but then it'd be a really, really weird pixelated thing. And then after you use that postage stamp size photo, all of a sudden the defense rests, and all of a sudden they go, oh, well, wait a minute, we have a 30 by 18 size copy of the same photo that's at a high resolution. How is that not a Brady violation? So that's basically what happened. The resolution of the video that they got was when they got the prosecution's video was 16 times the resolution. Really? That's not the same? And then Krause started making all these excuses in front of the court. Should we watch it? It's hilarious. Hello, the one who size matters. See, size matters. Oh my God. Anyway, why they and then so Krause made all these excuses, right? Thank you, Kiefer Dan, for sponsoring the show. I appreciate you very much. Who says, yes, this is Filegate. It's worse. It's worse because, as many of you know, as they were showing, okay, what is Molly Jungfish? She's stupid. Random American, how you doing? So, as we're watching this trial, right? There is as they showing they're showing Krause's computer screen because he's claiming, I have no idea how this could have got compressed. Maybe it was compressed when it was sent through email. Maybe it was compressed when it was sent here. Maybe it was compressed because she had an Android phone and we had an iPhone, and it somehow got compressed. Well, first of all, the woman who received the file got very angry. I almost need to figure this out. By the way, this is the handbrake thing. So he goes through this diatribe of so many different ways it could have gotten compressed. Maybe the dog stepped on your computer key, blah, blah, blah. But then they look at, there's a screenshot of his computer screen, and a program called Handbrake is on it. Let's see. This is Cyberpunk. The Rittenhouse trial is experiencing a glitch. Always play your videos with VLC player, especially if the file is 4 millibytes or greater, megabytes. Dang glitches. We need some tech support up in here. Kyle's innocent cannot be presented with low-res window media player files. Boomer legal system, man. Let me send you state's evidence from my personal Gmail. Yeah, he sent it via Gmail instead of, well, whatever. Both malice and incompetence for the prosecution, deadly combo of no acquittal on all counts, mistrial. But can they do that post-jury verdict? That's what Judge Dumbledore seems to infer. Hilarious. Anyway, that's someone saying Cyberpunk Eternal Affairs. But yeah, they had Handbrake on his computer. Here's a picture of his computer screen. Oh, just happened to have Handbrake right there. Handbrake is a program that compresses files. And it's funny because also, they said the woman who received it for the defense, I don't know her name off the top of my head. I'll remember in a minute. But she said that the file she got had a different name too. Rakita Law. Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand. Episkipos. 5Z. I had it right this morning. Hello, Tyra Alexander. How you doing? Yeah, the fact that he had Handbrake on his computer, the kind of program that because he claimed, well, I don't know how to compress files. I have no idea how to do that. And he has the program on his laptop where everyone can fucking see it. They have pictures of it. What a jackass. So anyway, hilarious. Handbrake is a tool for changing the quality of a video. You can't plead ignorance about how a video mysteriously became degraded in quality if you have Handbrake on your machine. You know what? I'm going to open up Rakita right now too, because I'm serious. If they start talking about this, we're going to do some stream inception here, because I'm sorry. I got to hear what they're saying this morning. Here we go. Rakita Law. Are they on yet? I think they are. And here we'll let's do a YouTube video screen here. Oh, he has 20,000
on these headphones. Hopefully, some guests will be joining me at some point.
Let's see if they talk about Handbrake.
As a warning to you, lovely lot, I will have to step away from this show in 32 minutes.
I'm going to type in one little chat here.
I'm hoping to have a couple guests come in, but 32
That's all I need.
From now, I will be making an appearance.
Oh my God,
on
Salty
the Glenn
Army's
Beck
in there.
program.
There's a bunch of people coming in.
That is where I will be. I won't be by video, just by audio, but that is
okay. So Rakita is going to be on Glenn Beck this morning. Okay,
but yes,
let's see how he opens here.
I do need to step away for just a minute. They're looking for an update on Kyle Rittenhouse. But you see, I'm doing this for you guys, is what you have to understand. Because the most
I'm typing in, I'm live streaming your live stream.
That we would get a ruling or a decision of some sort is going to be while I'm on an appearance somewhere else, right?
Like
that is the most likely
What's
outcome.
the word? Strike me, bro.
So yes, I did the Glenn Beck program it was last week.
Oh no, I'm on a timer. Oh, you can't
or was it this week?
What is it? Can you not do it?
But
here we go.
I will be going on to provide, I think, just an update in the case.
Okay, I didn't kind of all right.
So
all right, apparently nothing's happening there. So I'm gonna leave that open and I'm gonna go back to what I'm doing here. Good God. Anyway, so this guy, I mean, they're just such liars. And I hope that the judge in the case, since he's paying attention to other shit anyway, I hope he gets, I hope he comes back going, Mr. Klaus, whatever the fuck his name is. Yesterday, I have a question for you. Because yesterday you said you had no idea how to compress videos. But I notice on the internet here, there's, because I'm old and technically non-savvy, but I do know how to use the internet. And apparently there's something on your laptop called Handbrake. Could you please explain what Handbrake is? I hope they do an evidentiary hearing. That's what I'm really hoping, because in an evidentiary hearing, the lawyers have to go under oath. They can bring in experts about this video and this question about the compression and all that shit. And under oath, Klaus Kraus, whatever, shithead, the man who lives in a van down by the river, will have to make all those stupid claims under oath. And I think he's screwed. I think the prosecution's screwed as far as that particular issue is. I don't know if it'll cause the mistrial that it should, but it isn't. Anyway, Schroeder allowed juries to watch the videos they asked to see. That included the drone video. Despite a defense objection around 3:15 p.m., the jury was allowed to watch several videos that had requested to see again, including both raw and slowed versions of the drone footage. Jurors were given control of a computer to watch on a large high-resolution TV in the courtroom with everyone else locked out. Earlier, they watched other videos they had asked to see again on a computer upstairs in the jury deliberation room. The jury is deciding on intentional, reckless, and attempted homicide charges and 2 counts of reckless endangerment related to Rittenhouse's shooting of 3 people during a protest in downtown on August 25th, 2020. Wow, they didn't say after the black man was shot by a white police officer. They didn't say it in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Rittenhouse testified he fired all 8 rounds at 4 people because he feared for his life. He said he believed the attackers would take his AR-15 style rifle and turn it on, and 1 man was shot in the arm with a handgun. Wow, is that the worst written sentence in a news article ever? Oh no, that's because I read it wrong. Okay. He said 1 man he shot was armed with a handgun. Well, and then he was disarmed. That's not nice. That is not nice. That is terrible of myself. I should never have said that ever, of all times ever. All right, next article for now. This is also for the Milwaukee Sentinel. If my computer screen ever refreshes here, it hasn't yet. Why hasn't it refresh? Please. What the hell? Also in the news, there was some trouble on the steps of the courtroom that unfortunately they could hear from inside the courtroom, which I can't believe that they haven't. Why is this not coming up? All right, well, I'll leave the link. I'm not going to dwell on this anymore. Anyway, there's a little trouble outside the courtroom. One guy showed up the gun. There were some scuffles. There was people arguing each other. And I'm still dumbfounded that there's black people out there, Black Lives Matter types folks that are out there caping for these shitbags that got shot, because these shitbags that got shot are the guys who turned peaceful protests into riots, and then who gets blamed on the riots? Black Lives Matter gets blamed for the riots. Why would you? These guys, anyway. And also the fact that it was purely self-defense and none of these people out there protesting probably watched any of the trials. So I guess that doesn't matter. Anyway, so in PJ Media, defense wants state to try Rittenhouse again, ? Prosecutorial misconduct led the defense attorneys for Kyle Rittenhouse to call on the judge to declare a mistrial in what the judge called the prosecution's day of reckoning. The move is the 3rd such request for a mistrial that defense attorneys have asked for on behalf of the 18-year-old who could go to prison for the rest of his life for the killings of 2 armed men and the wounding of a 3rd during the 3rd night of riots in Kenosha, Wisconsin on August 25th, 2020. The judge has, over the 2-week trial, said the prosecutors acted in bad faith multiple times and may have stepped over the line several times on evidence and constitutional missteps. At the last minute, the prosecutors let a video recording into evidence, but they lied about its provenance, lied about its resolution, and then, in a coup de grace, lied about its length. You know what else they did with that video, by the way? It wasn't the original video, because the original video had the Zeminskis in it, and apparently they cut out the Zeminskis. So I'm not really sure, if they're saying that Kyle pointed a gun at the Zeminskis, why did they cut the Zeminskis out of the picture? I wonder if that one Zeminski guy was pointing a gun at Kyle and it was the other way around. But I don't know. We don't know because they cut him out of the picture. No testimony. I don't think there's any testimony about it. Did Kyle say something about he had a gun? I don't know. Whatever. That the case has this is PJ Media, so they have an opinion on this. That the case hasn't been declared a mistrial up to this point is a wonder. At every turn, Judge Bruce Schroeder decided that jurors should see more information, which is why defense objections of the surprise video went unsustained. Unsustained? What? It should be said went sustained. Anyway. Oh, unsustained, as in overruled. Defense attorney Corey Griffisi asked for the mistrial without prejudice before the jury comes back with a decision, which means he could be retried. But they also have another request with prejudice, which forecloses any further adjudication. Okay, so that's that. I have a couple other articles open. BLM, bitsy little membranes. So yeah, they are not the smartest. Well, okay. Oh, yeah. Good morning, Canada Hotep. Nice to see you here. We were talking about this on the live stream yesterday with Hotep Jesus. Yeah, I want to go back and watch some of that. He was on a couple different times during the day. Or maybe I'll see if I can jump in today. I'm not going to live stream it because I have to do stuff in the afternoon, and I got some people meeting to sell stuff. But anyway, let's keep going here. Okay, so the other articles I have. Let's see how the media has treated this trial as a disgrace. I'm not going to go through this one, but it'll be in the link down below. This is from the American Spectator. But it starts out way back when President Trump stirred a maelstrom when he called the mainstream media the enemy of the people. Although anything Trump immediately generates intense feelings on all sides, essentially ending much reasoned discussion and informed reciprocal debate, it is worthwhile considering that we need accurate media for a more wholesome society. Mass media can be a profoundly important bolster to a better world. The media have the power to root out and expose corruption by the powerful and inform the public about real dangers and to protect from tyranny. Sorry, I just thought about our media and that sentence in the same breath, and I almost, if I'd had coffee in my mouth, my microphone would smell like coffee. Anyway, when the mass media promotes falsehoods, they not only misinform if the matter is important enough, but they can endanger society. True. I might just go through this article anyway. They could even murder people. In the 1920s and 1930s, the New York Times bureau chief in Russia and the Ukraine filed stories about how successfully Stalin was leading his nation. In fact, he was starving millions of Ukrainians to death, particularly from 1932 to 1933, in a genocide that is now known as the Holodomor, literally mass starvation. Some Western intellectuals like George Bernard Shaw refused to believe the communist government could be cruel. Therefore, it fell upon the media to report the genocide. Walter Duranty, the Times reporter on the scene, instead filed lies. Those lies won him a Pulitzer Prize that has not been revoked to this day. Not even in an era in which monuments of Thomas Jefferson and Abraham Lincoln are toppled. Duranty pointedly denied the scope and extent of the famine, Stalin's underlying intent, and he later further defended Stalin's 1938 show trials. It is believed that Duranty's false reporting persuaded America to grant recognition to Stalin's government. I'm going to stop reading now, but it is a very lengthy and detailed how the media has done this. We've talked about this on the show, and I'm just going to let you read that on your own. But it's a really good article, and we'll go on. For real quick, thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Who says, fuck the police after enforcement unconstitutional edict from elected and unelected officials.
That's right.
They stood down, watched the city burn, knelt in front of the perpetrators. Knelt down in front of the perpetrators.
That's right.
Now, after good men stand up to the mob, they arrest us. FTP, fuck the police. FTP. Well,
that's right.
I'm not quite there. When the police do wrong, fuck those police that do wrong. And there are certainly police that do wrong, and I think defending unconstitutional edicts, or in some of the cases, that the high-profile cases where clearly the police were in the wrong, they need to be held accountable. So there, that's the right. But anyway, thank you very much for sponsoring the show through Streamlabs. And by the way, Black Hubie Rizalite, you are the
new
Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you very much, Black Hubie Rizalite. Oh, I should probably put that on the screen there. There you go. Let's see what else. Also, now this is interesting. So Miranda, what's her name on New York Post opinion writer? Miranda Devine. 10 heinous lies about Kyle Rittenhouse debunked. You know, I find this interesting. Maybe it's just because I do a live show every day. But I'm pretty sure every lie that she mentions in this article is one that I've already talked about in this show, and you guys are more informed and more quickly informed than perhaps Miranda Devine is. But some of these are so obvious, so I'm just going to go through the list. He killed 2 black BLM protesters. Now that's funny because that we saw that woman who had the tweets about, I just found out at the beginning of the trial that all the victims were white. And she's like, it just shattered my world that there's so much information I didn't know about. I can't believe the media lied to me. Yeah, we know that on this show already. He crossed state lines. Yes, he did cross state lines. I'm not sure why she says that is a lie. He actually did cross the state line. But when they say cross state lines, they make it sound like he came from Florida to Wisconsin and not just 2 suburbs over from Kenosha. You know what I mean? And so, you know, because I, for example, I live roughly 20 miles from, let's say, Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. Okay, I live 15 miles from Brooklyn Center. And I don't cross state lines, but I cross, which is on the other, like, so we're Twin Cities, you know, if you're looking here, let's see which hand. This is the Minneapolis hand. This is St. Paul hand. Those cities are right next to each other. Here, let me make this a little more visual for you. Just a second. All right, so Minneapolis, St. Paul, right? Okay, this is Minneapolis. This is St. Paul. They're right like this. They're bordered. That's why they call them the Twin Cities, because they're 2 cities that were originally like this, and then they kept growing and growing and growing, and they became like this, okay? And then I live in this little suburb down here, and Brooklyn Center is in the suburb up here, right? So they're about 15 miles apart, right? I cross at least 4 borders going to Brooklyn Center, and yet we're still in the same metroplex. That's Antioch to Kenosha. It's basically a kind of a suburb of Kenosha. And so he crossed state lines a whole 20 minutes away. Anyway, and his family, and the fact that his father, grandmother, aunt, uncle, cousins, and his best friend live in Kenosha, and he worked in Kenosha, and he was already there cleaning graffiti in Kenosha and doing shit. That's just one of those stupid things people say. You're like, oh my God, he crossed state lines. Yeah, he drove to where his job is. Rittenhouse took an AR-15 and crossed state lines. Well, we know that that's not a fact. We know that is bullshit. And this channel, if you're watching this, you know that's bullshit, right? That the gun was illegal. Well, we have the Wisconsin law. We had to put up on the show, and we know that he legally carried the weapon. It just took the judge and the prosecution a little while to figure that out, but they finally worked that out, realizing, Wisconsin state law says a 17-year-old can carry a long-barreled rifle or shotgun without, can possess it without any restriction. Not even hunting. If he's not hunting, there's no hunting restriction, and there's no licensing restriction because he's 17. And in fact, all the hunting issues for those laws are for people who are under 16. All right. The 5th one, Rittenhouse's mother drove him across state lines to the riot. Well, we know that Kyle drove himself to work and hung out in town, and his friend drove him to, the scene. And, I got to tell you, what if she did? Okay. She didn't, but what if she did? Does that change his ability to defend himself? Well, I'm just going to say no. Number 6, he was an active shooter who took his gun to the riot, looked for trouble. Well, Oh, yeah, this is the Joe Scarborough one. Oh, my God. I'm going to read this one because this is funny. A 17-year-old kid just running around shooting and killing protesters, said MSNBC's Joe Scarborough, who drove across state lines with an AR-15 and started shooting people up. Yeah, that didn't happen because Joe Scarborough said, how many rounds? How many rounds did Kyle Rittenhouse fire? Chat, put in the chat. I'll move on. I know you're going to get the right answer because everyone probably already knows the answer. Rittenhouse is a white... Oh, it's number 7. Rittenhouse is a white supremacist, as then candidate Joe Biden labeled him in a tweet showing the teenager's photograph. When the White House press secretary Jen Psaki was asked to explain why recently she slyly slimed Rittenhouse again without naming him as a vigilante. Anyway, that's not... Well, he wasn't there. We know why he was there. He flashed white power signs with the Proud Boys. Yeah, they're still talking about that bullshit. Avocados Diabli, y'all are fucking with me. I can tell. Thank you, Jada Clay, for being correct. You and Fight for Our Rights are smart asses, Avocados Diabli. I see what you did there. And then he wore surgical gloves to cover. Oh, yeah, this is Matthew Modine. Remember the actor? What movie is? Can you remember Matthew Modine from? What was that movie where Madonna sang "Crazy for You"? What was that movie called? Where he was a wrestler or some shit. Fuck, I don't know. Anyway, Matthew Modine. That's the only movie that I can remember him from. I know he's been in other movies, but that's the only movie of his that is memorable to me. He said that Kyle wore gloves because he was trying to cover his fingerprints. No, he was wearing gloves because he was giving first aid to protesters. And so anyway, those are like if you watch this show, you are more informed than most people who probably read that article. Thank you, Jim Beam. Vision Quest. Anyway. Now, let's move on. This show's going to be all Rittenhouse, I guess, today. I was going to do more, but there's a couple more FTGs we got to get to. Because here's one. Remember the other day I said, gosh, I wish PolitiFact and the factcheck.org and what's the dude from the Washington Post? Glenn Kessler from the Washington Post, right? Oh, yeah. He was in... Oh, that's right. He was in Full Metal Jacket. I forgot about that. Well, how appropriate is that? Full Metal Jacket. Because I keep talking about Full Metal Jacket. I'm pretty sure that when the prosecution kept saying that the weapon was Full Metal Jacket, I'm sure everyone thought of that movie and thought of the crazy dude who killed himself. It was firing around anyway, or killed the sergeant major or whatever, who was the training sergeant, the sergeant instructor. Thank you. I had to think about that. Oh, King's in the house. How you doing, King? Nice to see you. All right. Let's talk about it. Now, I said the other day, I wish PolitiFact would do a fact check on his right to carry a gun. Well, I didn't realize that on August 27th, Fact Check did do a fact check on this. And so here it is from August 27th. Now this is because they were fact checking something at 17 years old. Kyle Rittenhouse was perfectly legal to be able to possess that rifle without parental supervision. And PolitiFact's Truthometer says false. Okay, so let's just go through this because we know the truth. They did add an editor's note on November 16th, so 2 days ago. Okay, so here's their editor's note. They said all the same stupid shit that everyone else did, right? So they've added an editor's note 2 days ago that says, quote, Judge Bruce Schroeder recently dismissed a misdemeanor charge of possession of a dangerous weapon by a person under 18 against Kyle Rittenhouse. Readers ask us if this made the fact check below invalid. We don't think so, and here's why. In August 2020, we fact-checked the claim that it was perfectly legal, quote-unquote, for Rittenhouse to possess an AR-15 without parental supervision. Our reporting found that it was far from perfectly legal and that it was, in fact, legally murky. That's why we rated the claim false. Well, if it's legally murky, why would it be false? legally murky and false. If you don't know, then you can't label it false, right? But they did. Anyway, let's continue. Wisconsin law says that any person under 18 years of age who possesses or goes armed with a dangerous weapon is guilty of a Class A misdemeanor. In our fact check, we cite the possibility of an exception for rifles and shotguns. This exception is aimed at letting children ages 16 and 17 hunt, but as it is also clear, Rittenhouse wasn't in Kenosha to hunt. They got that wrong. This is the same legal debate played out a couple times during the Rittenhouse trial, according to the Associated Press. Rittenhouse's defense asked Schroeder to dismiss the firearm possession charge during a pretrial hearing in October. Schroeder, according to the Associated Press, acknowledged the intent of the statute was murky, but decided not to dismiss the charge. The issue came up again on November 15th as lawyers were debating instructions to the jury. Prosecutors argued that allowing an exception for hunting-style weapons would effectively eliminate the prohibition on minors carrying weapons. False. But in this instance, Schroeder dismissed the charge, saying he had a big problem with the state statute. That, too, is a lie. The problem with the state statute that it's murky, but it is clear if you read it correctly that 17-year-olds can possess a weapon if they are a long-barreled rifle or shotgun. We went through that the other day on this show. We are smarter than PolitiFact. It is reported the Associated Press quoted Kenosha defense attorney Mike Cicchini, who is not involved in the case. Cicchini said when the statutes aren't clear, they must be read in favor of the defense. This is the price the government must pay when it's incapable of drafting clear laws, Cicchini wrote in the article. The rule... And so... Still false. Or still false? They still have it as false? How about unclear instead of false, dumbasses? The ruling does appear at odds with the intent of the legislatures. Does it now? In 2018, the Wisconsin Legislative Council staff, a nonpartisan legislative service agency akin to the Congressional Research Service, wrote that, quote, under Wisconsin law, with certain exceptions for hunting, military service, and target practice, a person under 18 is generally prohibited from possessing or going armed with a firearm, but there are exceptions for long-barreled rifles and shotguns, dumbasses. These subsequent events show the gray areas of local gun laws, hardly a case for something being perfectly legal. Our fact check remains unchanged. Okay, dumb shits. Read it again. In fact, I did send them my version that is very highlighted out and very clearly shows that there is an exception for 17 and 16-year-olds, people under 18, to be able to possess a long-barreled rifle or shotgun that is not contingent on any form of hunting. The only thing that would have required any sort of hunting license would have been if he were hunting, because you have to have the correct hunting permits. So, it's in my Twitter feed. If you want, follow me on Twitter. It's there. It's already there. Real quick, thank you. We have a new sponsor today. It's called Fuchs Plumbing. Fuchs Plumbing. Thank you, Fuchs Plumbing, whoever the purveyor of Fuchs Plumbing is, who says, is that Fuchs? Okay, I'm sorry. I must have pronounced it wrong. Fuchs Plumbing. Fuchs Prepaid Plumbing. We lay pipe, but only if you pay first. When you call us, remember, 0 fucks are given. Thank you for sponsoring the show. Fuchs Plumbing, you are a great American. Okay. So anyway, PolitiFact's getting a little shit about this stupid ass fact check. And here's this is from the Post. It's funny because somebody who I've been arguing with on Twitter was going through my Twitter feed. Oh, you use the New York Post? Well, you know that's a tabloid, right? You do know they do some straight news too, right? Mostly straight news. Sorry, dumb shit. So PolitiFact slam for fact check on Rittenhouse legally owning gun. Not owning gun. Now, see, the New York Post has this wrong, too. So you got to be careful with all the sources you read. Legally possessing the weapon. A 17-year-old can legally possess a weapon. Not own. Nobody, see, can't trust the media. You gotta get the facts from straight from the source sometimes, and whatever. PolitiFact has been slammed for a fact check that claimed to readers that Kyle Rittenhouse's possession, okay, they got it right in the article, of a firearm was illegal after the judge presided over his murder trial in Kenosha, Wisconsin, threw out the weapons charge against him. Rittenhouse, 18, was initially charged with possession of a dangerous weapon as a minor, but the judge tossed it after the charge, and the site's claim did not hold up in court. Judge Bruce Schroeder agreed with Rittenhouse's lawyers that the ban on minors with dangerous weapons only applies to those weapons that are short-barreled, unlike the one that the teen used to fatally shoot 2 men and injure a third. In the aftermath of the shooting, PolitiFact had challenged a claim made by a Facebook user who wrote, "Carrying a rifle across state lines is perfectly illegal." Nope, that's not what they said. In fact, what did they say? They said he was perfectly legal to be able to possess that rifle without parental supervision. That's different. New York Post, you got to get your shit together too. Get it right, or shut the fuck up. All of yous. Is that true? State law suggests not. A fact checker wrote on the site. Wisconsin Department of Justice honors concealed carry permits issued in Illinois, but Rittenhouse did not have a permit to begin with, and he was not legally old enough to carry a firearm in Wisconsin. The post continued. Okay, so I didn't read the PolitiFact post. It's in the tab. If you want to read the original post, it's there. But with the spotlight of weapons charge Monday, critics blasted the fact-checking site. The fact check was always wrong, but now the weapons charge has been dropped. It's officially pants on fire. Real Clear Investigation senior writer Mark Hemingway wrote on Twitter, who fact checks the fact checkers. However, following the court decision, PolitiFact updated the post with an editor's note that doubled down on its stupidity, which we just read. So, okay, since I'm short on these, how about FTG PolitiFact? Oops, there you go. All right. And then finally, just for a palate cleanser or something to throw up to, Joy Reid opened her mouth again and said something completely asinine. Joy Reid compares Kyle Rittenhouse to male white tears to Justice Kavanaugh's. MSNBC pundit Joy Reid drew a comparison between Kyle Rittenhouse and his emotional testimony during his murder trial last week and the outburst from Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh during a Senate's confirmation hearing in 2018. You know what? Why am I waiting? FTG Joy Reid. I might have spelled it wrong. I spelled it right. It reminded a lot of people of something. Oh, the Brett Kavanaugh hearing, Reid said in a video from Rittenhouse's trial last week. Kavanaugh cried. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm exploding. Kavanaugh cried, quote, cried his way through hearings, Reid said, as he looked to become permanent member and associate justice of the Supreme Court. And his tears turned out to be more powerful than the tears of Christine Blasey Ford, who had no tears. Reid continued, but in America, there's the thing about both white vigilantism and white tears, particularly male white tears. Really, white tears in general, because that's what Karens are, right? You know, that's it. Can't do it. You got my FTG, and that's all we need. Besides, I'm out of town. You can read that bullshit later. Dom O'Leary, nice to see you, by the way. Racist people in media for 500, Alex. Thank you very much. All right, so sorry, guys. I just got to go. Did I say cleanser? I don't remember saying that. Maybe someone else did. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I got to go. I just can't take Joy Reid. It's that time, ladies and gentlemen. I must go, but I will be back tomorrow, Friday. It's By the way, if you're watching a replay, put a comment in the comment section so I know you're here, so I can say hi. Hi, Luna. I see you now. So anyway, just I'm gonna go back to listening to the trial stuff. Is anything happening? Nope. They still have that stupid Wisconsin symbol there or whatever. And they're just talking about it. So I'm gonna, and I'll put a link to Rakita Law since I'm leaving. If you haven't already got a link to it, there's his stream there. Theirs is probably the far most interesting stream to watch. With this, they have 63,886 people watching right now, and they're blowing away any of the other media. In fact, I think their coverage had more viewers on at one point yesterday than both PBS and Fox News combined. Oh, they're going over some. Here's a place where someone has died after being had a skateboard.
And we were all screaming.
Look at that.
Sheriff, why are you accepting a mistrial without prejudice? Why would you start
Okay,
this
yeah,
all over again?
Joe's
Why?
not
What are
happy
you
at all
doing?
with the defense team at all. Anyway, guys, I gotta go. I'm just rambling now. So thank you for being here. Thank you for people sponsoring the show. Thank you for people participating in the chat. And if you want to, please, hit the like button before you go. Also, please, you can share the stream before, during, and after. Comment in the comment section if you have anything. I'm going to put my string of poll questions about the case for people who are stupid in my Twitter feed. If you follow me on Twitter at PDawgKnight. And if you want to sponsor the show, you can do it before, during, and after the show at Streamlabs at PDawgKnight.live. You can do it on Cashapp. You can do it on Venmo, I think. I've got a bunch of them down there in the description. And SuperChats during the show. 30% goes to Susan, but that's okay. However you want to do it. Thanks for those who are able. And if you're not able, don't worry about it. You know what? This is all voluntary and it's a free show, and I just appreciate you coming and listening and participating in the chat when you can. So that's it for today, people. It is time for me to leave. My name is PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Have a fantastic day. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.